Alright, let's solve the equation 5x plus 3 equals 4x plus 7. So let's see what is the value of x here. The formula says, the shortcut formula says x equals d minus b, which is 7 minus 3 over a minus c, 5 minus 4. So 7 minus 3 is 4, divided by 5 minus 4 is 1. So 4 divided by 1, that's going to be 4. We say the value of x is 4. So that's the solution of the given equation. Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. Think solving equations has to be slow and complicated? Think again. In this video, I'll show you how to solve equations fast with smart shortcuts, pattern recognition, and zero guesswork. Let's dive in and start solving equations like a math pro. Say, if the equation is of the form ax plus b equals cx plus d. So whenever the equations are of the form ax plus b equals cx plus d, we can find x using the shortcut here. X equals, the formula is d minus b divided by a minus c. So we can find the value of x using the formula d minus b over a minus c. Let's see some example questions and find the value of x using this shortcut. Say the question is 5x plus 3 equals 4x plus 7. The question is, what is the value of x? Or you can say solve for x. Now, without solving here, we just have to use this shortcut so you get the value of x. Let's see that. So we need the values of a, b, c, and d to find the value of x. So let's find the values of a, b, c, and d. As you know that this is going to be the value of a, this is the value of b, and this is the value of c, and this is the value of d. So you can see that a is 5, b is 3, c is 4, and d is 7. Let's plug in the formula and see what is the value of x for this equation. So x equals, the formula is d minus b, right? So d is 7, so 7 minus b, b is 3, divided by a minus c. So you see a is 5 minus c, c is 4, so that's going to be 7 minus 3 divided by 5 minus 4. So 7 minus 3 is 4 over 5 minus 4 is 1. So 4 over 1, that's going to be 4. We can say that the value of x is 4. So whenever the equation of the form ax plus b equals cx plus d, this formula will help us to find the value of x without actually solving the equation. Alright, so let's do a couple of examples to understand this better. So let's take another example question. Say we are taking another example. Say the question is 5x plus 3, 5x plus 3 equals 6x minus 2. So this is the question. So again, to find the value of x, we need to know the values of a, b, c, and d. So let's write down the values of a, b, c, and d from this equation. As you can see that the value of a is 5 here, and then the value of b is 3, and the value of c is 6, and the value of d is negative 2. Now let's plug them in the given formula to find the value of x. So x is, the shortcut method is here d minus b, right? So d is negative 2 minus b. You see b is 3 divided by a. You see a as 5 minus c. C is, you see c as 6. Now let's find this value. So negative 2 minus 3, that's going to be negative 5, right? Divided by 5 minus 6, which is negative 1. So negative 5 divided by negative 1, that gives you positive 5. So what is the value of x here? So you can see that The value of x is 5. So the question is 5x plus 3 equals 6x minus 2. What is the value of x? So the answer is x equals 5. You can plug in x as 5 in the given equation and check if that's the correct answer. So you can always plug in and check. So 5 times 5 is 25 plus 3 is 28 on the left side, and when you plug in 5 here in the place of x, 6 times 5 is 30. 30 minus 2 is also 28. So you can always see that or check that, the value satisfies the given equation. So the answer to this given question is now 5. Let's do another example question. Say we are solving another question of the same type, and let's see what is the value of x here. Say the question is 7x minus 9, 7x minus 9 equals 3x plus 7. So this is a question. So what is the value of x? To find that again, we need to know the values of a, b, c, and d. So let's write down the values of a, b, c, d from this equation. As you can see that a is 7, and then b is negative 9, c is 3, and then d is positive 7. Alright, so let's plug in this in the given formula, which is x equals d minus b. Right, so d is 7 minus b. B is negative 9 divided by a minus c. So a is 7 and minus c is 3. So let's simplify this. 7, and then you see minus of a negative, that become a positive. So that becomes 7 plus 9 divided by 7 minus 3 is 4. So 7 plus 9 is 16. 16 divided by 4, that's going to be 4. So what is the value of x here? So the value of x is 4. As always, you can plug in the value of x in the given question and check if that's the right answer. Alright, so this will help us to solve equations of this type pretty easily. Let's see what if the equations are of different type. Say, let's take another equation. Let's see how we solve that. Say if the equation is of different type, say if it is in the form x plus a times x plus b equals x plus c times x plus d. So whenever the equation is of this form, so earlier we have seen if ax plus b equals cx plus d, then we saw x equals d minus b over a minus c. But now, if the equation is of this form, say x plus a times x plus b equals x plus c times x plus d, in this case, so what is the formula? Let's see the formula. So the formula going to be x equals, the formula starts with cd minus ab divided by a plus b minus c minus d. That's the formula. So x equals cd minus ab over a plus b minus c minus d. Let's take an example and solve that question. Let's take an example of this form and see what is the value of x in that question. Say the question is x plus 1 times x plus 3 equals x minus 3 times x minus 5. So you can see that now this is in the form x plus a times x plus b equals x plus c times x plus d. Now what is the value of x? To find that, again we need to know the values of a, b, c, and d from this equation. So let's write down the values of a, b, c, and d. As you can see that a is 1, and then b is 3, c is negative 3, and then d is negative 5. Now let's plug in these values in the given equation. So you get x equals, so we are solving for x. So you see CD, right? C is negative 3 times D. You see D as negative 5, so negative 3 times negative 5 minus AB. You see A as 1 times B is 3, so 1 times 3, and this whole thing divided by A plus B, so A is 1 plus B is 3, then you have got minus C. You see C value is negative 3, so the formula says minus C, minus of a negative that become positive, that become plus 3. Again you have minus D, D is negative 5, minus of a negative that become positive, so you get plus 5. Alright, so now let's simplify this. X equals negative 3 times negative 5, that's going to be positive 15, and then you get minus 1 times 3 is 3, divided by 1 plus 3 is 4, 4 plus 3 is 7, 7 plus 5 gives you 12. Now if you simplify this, 15 minus 3 gives 12, divided by 12. Now you can see that the value of x is 1, right? So it's pretty easy to find the value of x when you know this formula. The formula is x equals CD minus AB divided by A plus B minus C minus D. Alright, let's see another example question. Let's solve that of this same type and see what is the value of x for that question. Let's see that. Say it starts with x plus 7. The question is x plus 7 times x plus 12 equals x plus 6 times x plus 15. So the question is this. So the question is, what is the value of x? Or you can say solve for x. Again, to solve for x, we need a, b, c, and d values. Now let's write down that. So the value of a is 7, you can see that. And the value of b is 12. And the value of c is 6. And the value of d is 15. So we got all a, b, c, d values. Let's plug it in the formula. So the formula is x equals, right, it starts with CD. You see C as 6, 6 times D, you see D as 15, 6 times 15 minus AB. So you see A as 7, 7 times B, B is 12, so 7 times 12, and then this whole thing divided by A plus B, so A is 7 plus B, B is 12, minus C, C is 6, so you just write minus 6, minus D, D is 15. So you just plug in all these values here. And now we simplify this, so you get x equals 6 times 15 is 90, then minus 7 times 12. So 12 times 7 is 84, and this whole thing divided by 7 plus 12 is 18. Sorry, 7 plus 12 is 19, 19 minus 6, so you get 13, 13 minus 15, which would be negative 2, right? So that's the denominator part. Now let's simplify this. 90 minus 84, that's going to be 6. 6 divided by negative 2. So you can see that the value of x is 6 divided by negative 2. That gives you negative 3, right? So the value of x is negative 3. Alright, so you can plug in x as negative 3 in the given question. You always check if that's the right answer. So whenever you get the value of x, to check if it is correct answer, you plug it in the question back and check if that is satisfying the given equation. Alright, so you have seen that two different forms of the equations and then finding the x in two different ways. Alright, thanks for watching. If you found these tips helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you never miss a quick math hack. Got a question or want more examples? Drop it in the comments. I'm here to help.